I'm Joseph Guillory, and I'm running for Justice of the Peace Precinct 2 here in Port Arthur, and I'm here with Trill Spill TV, Hustle Boy JT.
Trill Spill, Trill Spill, Trill Spill, Trill Spill, Trill Spill, Trill Spill TV.
Welcome to another episode of Trill Spill TV, man. You already know what time it is. It's that time of the year when you gotta vote, man. Introduce yourself, man. Let them know who you are.
I'm Joseph Guillory, and I'm running for Justice of the Peace Precinct 2 right here in Port Arthur, Texas.
What made you want to run for Justice of the Peace?
Man, that's solid. Most of you know, if this is a young artist, maybe you may not know, but in 2018, I ran against another JP, and we were successful. We didn't win, but we were successful. And it opened the door and opportunity to visualize what was really going on here in the city. And then I was privy to a meeting that was held over at First 6th Street. And the tone of the meeting and the things that they were suggested to me that we were going to be losing representation in the city. And what that did, it caused me to do some research to determine how this could come about. And in that research, we pulled numbers, and those numbers suggest exactly what the county judge was stating as his reason for wanting to close the constable office as well as these particular courthouses. So with that research, I formulated a plan. I made a decision simply to run to remove the individuals that were being complicit to the possibility of us losing representation. Now, this had been going on for over 12 years, and no one has ever even addressed this. No one tried to even make any corrections that would turn our area around. What does losing representation look like? It simply says that your services have been taken away from you, and you now have to go over to the mid-county area to have your tickets resolved, pay your taxes, or all these other things that this courthouse function as for the citizens of Port Arthur. And we fought too long and too hard for not only the representation that we currently have, but to the establishment. We are one of the greatest city in America. Well, I say that simply because we have all the resources in America. Right here we got the largest refinery in North America, and we have the highest unemployment. So all these things are going hand in hand, and it's because of the leadership that we've had in place and intact for so long. And the people said on March 1st, 2022, that they had enough. They nominated me as a Democratic nominee, and I'm proud to carry that torch because I know that there's something that's on the inside of me that they don't want you to have, and that's a voice and a say to what happens here in Port Arthur.
Whoa, that was a lot.
I'm sorry.
Nah, you cool, man. I mean, so you say, what the mid-county got to do with Port Arthur? So you saying?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So try this on. Everybody know we used to have 3 high schools. What never changed was the population in Port Arthur. So they can't say the population couldn't sustain 3 high schools because we know that's not true. But for whatever reason, we got 1 high school now. So that's representation. Then we moved an entire community from the west side of Port Arthur to mid-county, what they call mid-county, which is 365, which then that weakened our school district. Why? Because it gave opportunity for those people to attend needed and important nature. Why do you think their programs have changed so much and that they're so competitive now? It's because we have defeated our own. We have done something to our people that just is unspeakable. Now think about this. Again, as I stated earlier, about going to mid-county or the airport to take care of your business when you can simply go downtown. The plan, in my estimation, is real simple. The next thing on the agenda is the constable's office. That's what he said. And in Cathedral of Faith, he wanted, and his plan was, and he was all for eliminating this position. Well, if you eliminate the constable position, then you're going to eliminate the courts because the court can't function without the constable. All these things go hand in hand. Now, I say all that to say this. These numbers have generated a loss over the last 10 or 11 years, while the current JP that sits there now that was defeated in March. So the question to the citizen, did he know, did he care, or was he complicit? All three are bad for the citizens of Port Arthur because no one made any adjustments or attempt to correct the problem. And that's an issue for me. When you know you're doing something wrong, and I'm gonna say this here, when you elect one of us to do a job, show up on time, do your job, go home. Show up on time, do your job, go home. Those are the keys to success on anybody's job. And I find it disheartening when we start looking, and if there was an investigation loss, or whatever, I guess they would call it a forensic audit. And if he wanted to really make a determining effort how he's going to address this issue, it wouldn't look good for us. It really wouldn't. There's some things that we've done that we probably shouldn't have done. You know, things that can be misconstrued, time not spent doing the job. He's going to compare the constable office to the other constable office, and he's going to look at productivity. That's a bad thing when he says, well, these people over here are doing what we need them to do, but we don't need you anymore. And that's bad. So hopefully this election will strike a nerve and start motivating people to do some of the things that the citizens are asking them to do, because it's our taxpayer dollars that's paying for these expenditures here in the county and in this city.
So what are your main goals? If you win the election, what are your main goals to do?
Well, the main goal is to make sure that the relationship between the city, the citizens of this city, and this office are arm in arm. And that means I'm simply going to make myself accessible and available to the citizens when you need me, right? I'm going to do my job. Doing the job inside the courtroom, that's going to be easy. Simply because I've been in business for 35 years. I've been self-employed for the last 22 years. So what it's going to take for us to accomplish what needs to happen simply is making sure that every citizen that comes in that courtroom is treated fairly. That's number one. Fair and equity is top of our list. And then we're going to address some issues through education, educating the citizens on what you can do in this community with this particular office. And when I say education, JT, I'm talking about informing the citizens that if you have someone that is living in substandard condition, there's something that you can do. It's time for us to start standing in the gap for our neighbor. Maybe they can't speak for themselves. Proverbs 31 simply says, 8 and 9 says that we should fight for the ones that can't fight for themselves. Speak for the ones that don't have a voice. This is what I'm saying as far as this office is concerned. This is what's motivating me right now, is to speak on behalf of the citizens and return the power of this city back to the citizens who rightfully deserve to make the decision, who rightfully deserve the best person and the best representative that have their interests at heart.
Yeah, I like that, man. You speaking that. Speak that, man. Why you love Port Arthur? Why you love Port Arthur so much?
Man, I'm born and raised Port Arthur, man. You know, everything that I've seen destroyed was all part of my growing up. I spent most of my life on the west side of Port Arthur. So it definitely hurts. It hit different when you come home and everything that you left is not the same. You're like, man, things have gotten progressively worse. And the question is why? And people, again, do they care? Right? Do they care? Do they care? Do they care? Do they care? Do we care?
Do we care?
Do we care? Do you care enough to make the right decision in this election and come out and vote for the most qualified person? Or are you going to allow favoritism and all those other isms and relationship isms and friendship isms and this is my classmate ism? All these kinds. Are you going to allow that to determine who you put in this seat? Or are you going to do the right thing for the other 90% of the people that really need help? You know who needs help the most, JT? Our seniors. Our senior citizens need our help. And we can help them simply by informing them or their family members how they can utilize the court to fix some of the issues that they're facing. When we talk about inhumane conditions, we're talking about bed bugs. We're talking about sewage backup. We're talking about leaking roofs, or anything that the landlord has failed to fix. That's what we're talking about. And it's something called remedy and repair. It's a lawsuit that you can simply file. You can file. If you got a friend that lives in one of these facilities, you can file on their behalf in the court. And that allows us to bring that landlord before and have them answer, why are you doing this? And you got X amount of time to get this corrected, or you'll be facing this particular fine every day until it gets done. So when you hear our other elected officials talking about, well, we've been down there and we tried and we're working on it, to me, that's a bunch of buffoonery. Because if you truly were trying, it would already be resolved. Yeah. You telling me that you don't know these people on first name basis? Well, let me remind you who these people are. These are the same people that's been supporting your campaign. That's why you can't hold them accountable, because they've been supporting your campaign. They own these properties. So that's an issue for me when we have special interest groups that are dictating, oh, well, the citizens of Port Arthur, they don't really need that. Don't worry about that. We just overlook that. If they don't pay attention to it, we just sweep it under the rug and we'll keep it moving.
Come on, man, speak.
This is the problem. Apathy. Voter apathy is a very big issue. We should take it very seriously about voting and who gives us our vote. And if they're not willing to talk to you about the real issues, then they don't deserve your vote. Period.
Like I said before, man, you gotta go out there and vote, man. If you want to have any say-so, anything about Port Arthur, if you're a Port Arthur, man, go out there and vote. It's simple, man. Just go down there and vote, man. Hey, we getting it in, man. It's getting heated. This conversation is getting real. Man, we're going to be back in just a second, man. We're going to take a small little break, man. Take a little commercial break, man. Pay these people, man, and let these people be seen that pay me, man. Hey, man, we trill spinning, man. Get back with y'all in a second. Hey, welcome back, Trill Spill TV, the second half, man. We finna get it in, man. Me and Mr. Joe, man, we getting it on. Good conversations, man.
Absolutely,
hey, man.
absolutely.
It's good to have you.
Man, JT, appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot for helping us get this message out tonight.
Message? Nah, what are your plans with the kids and the youth?
Well, most of you may not know, but I belong to an organization called Project Life Change. And in this seat, I'll have the compassionate heart, because simply I understand what our children are dealing with. And that's going to be important to me and important to the citizens of this community, because we can't continue just to throw our kids away. Penalizing them and punitive expressions of the law is not always necessary in most cases as we build in good citizens in the community. So during this Project Life Change, this mentoring organization made up of ministers, we go into the school district. We've been doing this now since last school year, and we're currently doing it now. We go in for about an hour and a half every Tuesday, and we meet with our young people, and we talk to them, and we want to hear them out. We want to wrap our arms around them. We want to talk to them, mentor them, and encourage them, and hopefully we can correct some behavior by presenting to them some examples. And we're that example. The men in this community that have put in some hard work. I want to encourage a lot of you. If you want to get involved, you want to participate, you can reach out, link up with me, or reach out to PA United. We can get you set up where you can become part of the team. We need as many young men to help mentor our other young men, so that we can build a stronger core of young men for our future. So the plan for this office is to go in there with passion, commitment, and open heart, open ears, open mind, and a willingness to identify our children's need, help our parents become better parents, whatever that capacity that we can fit, and then also put them in a situation for them to come out of whatever it is that they're going in. There are services that are available. that we can direct them that would help them instead of just simply fining them something that they can't already pay, because we got issues in our community called poverty. So some of us just don't have the money necessary. But if there was a program like the one we have, we can simply say, hey, you do this program, you complete the program, we'll do something with the ticket. And so there's always ways to accomplish something when you try to do something for the community. Now, looking at myself being an instructor over at Lamar State College, here's something for you that maybe you didn't even know, that you can go to the Workforce Commission based on your economic living conditions and apply for a grant that will pay for you to go to Lamar, where you can earn your CDL. So, JT, you come in, you say, well, Joe, you know, I'm on hard times right now, Judge Guillory, and you know, I'm throwing myself on the mercy court. I know I done wrong. I can't pay this fine. I said, well, don't worry about it, JT. I got just the answer. Go down to the Workforce Commission. When you finish and complete the program, come back and bring me that CDL driver license. We'll just throw this away. I just helped somebody. And that's what we need to start doing in this community. There's so many resources. We just did a program last night at the Civic Center, PA United, where we brought in the community. It was just unfortunate that only the Hispanic population received us, because they made up 90% of those in attendance. The resources were for every citizen in Port Arthur. So some of us are just reluctant to act. Some of us, hopefully we won't have this voter apathy in this election, that these issues are serious enough to cause you to want to take action and do what's right for your family, your children, and your next door neighbor. Because we need you to participate. We can't accomplish anything without your participation.
So what would they would have seen at the event y'all had?
Last night we had.
Do y'all post it on social media?
Yeah, we posted on social media. We put flyers out. It was nice. So if you're not linked up, I want to encourage everybody right now to look up on Facebook, PA United. Join us, and then that way you can stay linked in to what we got going on. And when we call these different meetings and we host these different events, you can be included in the process. Resources like counseling, mental illness, simply financial information on how you can get $40,000 from the city toward building you a new home. All type of resources.
Is it right there?
And I put my.
That should be you right there.
I'm gonna send you a link. Okay. No, right here. This one right there. The group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, join it. Just click join. And then share it to your page so everybody can go to your page and get linked up. Good. So these resources that we're talking about, PA United, is an incredible organization. Again, all of us are ministers, pastors in the community that are linking and bridging the gap with other faith-based communities as well. So the event last night was called a multicultural event, designed to bring multicultural people together to receive the same information to help better their living conditions. Yeah. And like I stated a minute ago, 90% of those that participated were Hispanic. Because they want to know, they want to see what's out there to help them and change their living conditions. We should still have that same fight, because none of us made it yet. I mean, I don't know about you. I haven't made it yet. I'm in the same condition, the same middle class everybody else is in, or the lower middle class, but we're making it. We see opportunities in the near future for us to become better as a community. But when we put out information like this, it's definitely there to help change the direction in which we're going. So we can't say, well, nobody cares about us. There's nothing available for us to do. There's nothing for the kids. Well, if you don't vote, won't be anything left for the kids. If we keep on going the way we're going with the voter apathy, we're going to see this city just slip away from us. We are a majority minority ran city. Minority, majority ran city. That should mean something.
Yeah.
It should mean something to you. It should be instill a sense of pride, where you want to help your next door neighbor. If he's cutting his grass, maybe you ought to cut your grass. Make that community look nice. Take some pride in ownership. A lot of us are owners. We want to take pride. If you got rental property, raise your level of commitment to make sure that your rental property is being taken care of. And then when we got folks that need additional assistance, now check this out, JT. I don't have a problem with folks that need assistance. I have a problem if that's all that they're relying on and the assistance that they're giving is simply a trap. But then one guy said, well, Joe, it's not really a trap. If you can see it, it's not a trap. So every time you receive assistance, it's okay, because it's going to help you for that moment. But it shouldn't be something that we depend on and that we wait on, because what happens? It gets us disconnected and disengaged into the issues that affect us on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, somebody's gonna need some help. Take that help. Thank you very much. I don't need it anymore, because now I'm on my feet and I'm doing what I have to do. We had to change our mindset. There's a lot of us are still stuck. Well, I'm still waiting on my 40 acres of the mill. Well, guess what? I'm still waiting on mine too. Understanding that you'll never get it. So that's no excuse for you to sit on your hands and wait for somebody else to do something that we can do. Put in the work. Putting the work in this community is simply just donating your time, talent, or your treasure. TTT, time, talent, treasure. That's easy. TTT, JT, Trill Spill TV. You know what I'm talking about? JT, man, look, we want to make sure everybody knows how important this election is. Yeah. Because what you may not know, by your vote, you can simply change the direction of the city. You say impossible. I say possible, because this election is all about power. The power that we don't have, but the power that we will have after this election is over. The power to make change in this community. Then all of a sudden your elected official will start listening to you when you start calling your council member or your mayor or whoever. Because you know what? You have the power to do what? To vote them out. Yeah. They count on low voter turnout. Everybody that stays in office for a long period of time, low voter turnout works to their advantage. Really? When the people don't participate, you get all it takes is a core group, and they win every time. They've been doing it for as long as they've been in power. They've been doing it. They focus on that 500 vote or that 1,000 vote. That's a slap in the face. We got 53,000 people in this city. We got over 36,000 registered voters. Makes no sense to have an election where only 3,000 people participate. Yeah. What does that say about us and our commitment to living better? I want to encourage anybody. If you had never left Port Arthur, yeah, like you don't care. And a lot of times it's because we haven't lived anywhere else. I've lived in several places. As a truck driver, I've been all over the United States. I can still tell you ain't no other place better than Port Arthur, Texas. This is my home. I love this place. I mean, it's something special about Port Arthur that I can't find that same feeling anywhere else. Nah, you're not gonna. It's the people. The people make this community so special. So what we want to do is take what we've seen somewhere else and bring it to Port Arthur. You were talking about earlier when you asked me that question about things that I want to do and things that I want to see change. Here's what I want the people to see. I want you to picture for one moment on the canvas of your imagination what your life would be if you just made a little effort to get to that vote, to that voting booth. What would it look like if tomorrow, because you voted today, there was a job opportunity where you can go and you can buy the house that you choose to live in, that you can utilize the programs that the city is offering you if you would have showed up on yesterday to get that information. If we would just make a little effort, we can change a lot of things around us, and we don't have to worry about waiting for somebody to come in and do this thing called gentrification. All that simply means is they have already devalued your property so low they're gonna come back and buy it for pennies on the dollar, and then they're gonna put you out and put you in a position where they were like they already doing, where you got to pay high rent anyway, and they're gonna come back and take the resources that you have, that you are running, that you're in control of, and they're gonna do it the way they want to do it. And I'm saying this election means that we can put a stop to that.
Put a stop to it, man.
I'm telling you, the people can do this.
We need to get a stop, man. We need to get a stop. We need to go out and vote, man. If you can vote, go vote. It's easy, bro.
So what's our audience? What's our audience? 18 to 25, 18 to 30?
Yeah, 18 to 30, 40, 50. I got everybody on there, man. I'm touching.
This is what I want to say to the young people that's 55 and younger. Cause I'll be 55. Lord say the same when the creek don't rise. I'll be 55 in November, and I've lived my life. And I'm very happy with the things that I've been able to accomplish on a personal level.
Yeah.
But this is not about me. I'm sacrificing a lot to devote my time to the city because I think it's important. I want you to have that same feeling when you walk outside, man, I'm ready to go to war. Because that's what this is. It's war.
Yeah.
You know, look, there is a demonic spirit in this city that is in operation in full swing. And we can't avoid addressing the elephant in the room. Anytime you try to hurt your neighbor, that's demonic. That's demonic. Because you're supposed to love your neighbor. And if you love your neighbor, you're going to find ways to help your neighbor and not hurt your neighbor. These simple biblical principles, it doesn't matter what's your faith, they're the same. Love conquers a multitude of sin. And if we start loving on each other a little more, judging each other a little less, and willing to put the hands to the work, we can make a significant difference in this community. Collectively, you do your part, I do my part. You pray for me, I pray for you.
Yeah.
You know, together we can make some changes, JT. JT, you know what, JT?
Yeah.
Me and you making some changes right now because we're reaching some people and we're putting some real knowledge on the table for your consideration.
But hey, man, we talking, man. Hey, we gonna get back with you in just a second. Take us a small little break, man. Trill Spill TV. Trill Spill TV, man. We back, man. Nice little break. Had to go take us a little break.
Needed that break, man. Mom got the ride, JT.
Yeah, get you some
Man, thank
water.
you, man. Thank you.
Get you some water and get you right, man. So, this is why are you the better candidate?
Well, that's the easy part. I thought you were going to ask me a tough question. I'm the best candidate simply because I've already done the work. I've been doing the work all along. The commitment, my resume, when we look at our resume and we start looking at that I've only had 3, maybe 4 major jobs my entire life in 35 years. For those of you that remember Western Auto, I was only the first and black African American to manage Western Auto, then Ace Hardware, and then self-employed for the last 22 years. And then I served as a deputy sheriff in the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff Department. When I encompassed all of that experience and I wrapped that up, having that ability to have a territory that was over $40 million that I was responsible for, I have the business knowledge because I went in and I consulted with business owners about their business and I made their business better. So I understand the concept and the things that we need to do as far as the finance aspect, managing people. People has been my thing. I've never met a stranger. I've always had a way where people can welcome me. I've never been standoffish. You know, I always had a smile on my face. You know, I'm always serious. You know that about me as well. But when it comes down to being a better candidate, hands down, when you put my resume next to my opponent, it doesn't compare. The work that we're doing in this community, that we have been doing in this community, that we will continue to do in this community, just ask them to show you their work. Because I haven't seen it. And I'm not throwing shade on anybody when I say that. I'm just asking, show me your work. I can show you my work. You know, the teacher asks a student to show their work.
Show your work. Show
your work. How did you get from there to here? There had to be some steps in between. I'm asking you to provide us with the same answer. As a voter, before you give your vote away, maybe you ought to ask those same questions because those are valid questions. What have you done? And what do you bring to the table that's going to change the direction of this city? You know, you have to do more than just serve. I mean, I went to Luby's and they served me a plate of lunch today. I mean, that's serving, but that's not the same as getting behind a desk and rendering a decision. That's not the same as having managerial experience, that you manage the employees and that you find a way to develop a team. If you had never done that, it's going to be virtually impossible to do. So if you've never been in that leadership role, this job will be very difficult. This job is designed for someone who has been prepared mentally, physically, and emotionally. It requires an individual that's going to be a self-starter. Why? Because you're in charge. The people got to come to you for the answer. You can't still be laying in the bed at 10 o'clock when you should be having court. These things have to be based on historical data that suggests that you can do this job. I can show up to work on time. That means you have to have a job, that you have a proven track record, that you've shown up to work on time for this period of time, and that the people are satisfied with the work that you've done. I'm just asking, show me the work.
Show me the work. You heard it, Joe. Show me the work.
Ain't no shame in my game. I mean,
Ain't no shame.
I can show you mine. You just show me yours. I mean, if we're sincere about making a significant difference in this community, we have to raise the bar just a little higher for our elected officials. Yeah, there's some things that I would like to do for personal improvement. I proved that to you when I earned my master's certification as a board trustee. That was important. That's something that every board member is able to do. You have to only have to dedicate 1 year, commit 1 year and your finance resources to pay for the course, because the district doesn't pay for it. Well, I made that sacrifice. Why? Because I wanted to make sure, JT, that I had the information to do the very best job for the people that elected me to be responsible for their children, be responsible to the parents, be responsible to the teachers and administrators in this district, in this city. That's the least that I can do. But if you're not willing and you can't prove and show that you even made an effort to better yourself, I'm just showing you that I made that effort. That going into this office, that's the effort that we're gonna have to make every single day, is to get better every single day. How do you get better? You gotta work at it.
Work at it.
You gotta work at it. Nothing gonna come easy. Nothing come easy but a dream.
That's it.
I mean, we all got those. When we go to sleep, we dream. I mean, they got a saying. What is that saying? Nothing come to a dreamer. Nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. Yeah. So if you sleeping, you're gonna dream. But listen, we're serious though. Just picture on the canvas of your imagination just for 1 second, because dreaming is free. You can wander and dream, and you can be in La La Land. Whatever it is that you want to see happen in the city of Port Arthur, it all starts with you and your vote. You agree, JT?
I definitely agree. If you don't vote, hey, keep your mouth shut. Shit, if you vote, hey, then you got something to say. You got something to look forward to, and you gotta, hey, your opinion, it counts.
It is. You heard that from JT.
Go vote, man. It's simple, man. When I say family, what that mean to you? Like family. What's family?
What does family mean to you? Family is a support system that you can count on and that you rely to. Family is like going to see grandmother and you ask her to make you some of those famous cookies. What do they call those?
Tea cakes.
Tea cakes. Because only grandma can make those special tea cakes. See, that's family. See, I wouldn't necessarily go to JT and say, hey, JT, hook me up with some tea cakes, right? Because, JT might not have that skill.
I ain't got that skill.
But grandma got that skill. So, so family means everything to everybody. And in this community, that's what we have to become, like family. In family, JT, I want the very best for you.
Yeah.
Right? I want the very best for you. And it all starts with the position of our hands. These are servant hands. And when you have those, they're always going to be open to give and to receive what it is that God has for you. But when you close that fist up like this, you can't receive or give anything. So I give a scenario all the time about climbing a tree. So here it is, JT's climbing a tree. This tree is very, very tall. How do you think JT got to the limb in which he was able to escalate to the next level? He got there because I gave him a little boost. But then when JT got to the top, he reached back down, he grabbed my hand. He pulled me up. So because I supported him, somebody else came right behind me and did what I did for JT. Gave me another little boost. So not only am I getting somebody to pull me up, I got somebody pushing me up. We need to find a way to build each other in this community. Support another man's dream. Support it long enough that someone will come along eventually and support your dream and aspiration. We can't continue to hurt each other, JT. Yeah. If we want to be family, we got to love on each other. And love don't hurt nobody.
Love don't hurt.
Love don't hurt. You know, and I feel, I feel some type of way about a lot of things, and especially this election, it has really brought out the worst in people. It exposed a lot of selfishness. So, it does hurt.
So, was it any verbal abuse things been said on Facebook, anything like that? Like,
no, this ain't about mudslinging or anything like that. It's about actions. Most everything has been done action-wise. Action. People have demonstrated some things. Just simply because I have two opponents, action. Whereas my opponent, who served in this capacity for 3 terms, a total of 12 years, has never had an opponent, JT. Never had an opponent.
Yeah.
I have 2 opponents in less than 6 months. But he never had an opponent for the full existence of those 3 terms. So it is my belief that if he had won in March, he wouldn't have an opponent right now either. Yeah. So that speaks volume to me as well. And that should send off an alarm clock to you. That what is really going on, JT? So answer that for me. What's your perspective? You're a citizen in this community. You see what's going on. I mean, how do you assess what you see?
I mean, me, I just want to be. I want somebody that's gonna do what they say they gonna do. Somebody that's gonna be the man to the community, man. I'm talking about every time they have an event, no matter what it is, no matter if it's hip hop night, gospel night, he's still there to show his support for the people that he loved, the people that he say he loved, and the people he say he doing this for. You know what I'm saying? Back it up.
And that's what the work looks like. That's what the work looks like. Because there's some tireless hours that we have to put in. So to do this work, none of us expect to get a pat on the back. That's not why we're doing it. The reason why we're doing it is because we want to make sure we give our kids a little hope and a little future. And that's what the good Lord wants for each and every one of us. He don't want to hurt us. He want to give us hope in the future.
Yeah.
He want to bless us and prosper us in the areas of where we are right now. We just have to be accountable. We have to show up and don't worry about the fight. Just show up. One man water, one man seed. God provide the overflow. So all we got to do is show up. That's all we got to do, JT. Show up.
Show up.
Be family. Love each other. Yeah. Offer that olive branch, a hand, helping hand when we can. That's all we got to do.
So who vote counts?
Your vote counts. Your vote will make a difference in this election and elections to come. And we just want to make sure that you know how valuable you are as a voter, and that you should really, really, really be apprehensive about who you give your vote to. Because, you wouldn't just hand me your checkbook now, would you? It has the same weight as a vote. You wouldn't just give, me your credit card, right? So I want you to think about that. Unless I've shown you a pattern that I've been consistent, that you can trust me. Now, once I establish that, you want to give me your credit card, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to go and I'm going to come back and I'm going to give it right back to you. That's just an example. In this election, it's exactly the same way. You're going to give someone some authority and some power. You want to make sure that this is done for the good and the betterment of the community. The one thing I say, no matter what I do, whatever I show up, I want to leave that situation better than when I arrive. And that's what I hope to do here in this seat as Justice of the Peace Precinct 2 and mentor our kids along the way, because somebody gonna take my place, and I want to make sure I prepare as many people as I can to do just that.
Right on, man. Hey, y'all heard it here, man. On Tree of Spill, man. Mr. Joseph Guillory.
JT, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Hustle boy JT.
You already know it, man. The hustle is in me, man.
Trill Spill TV, it's been a pleasure,
Not
man.
only is in me.
It's not on me, it's in me. Amen. Yeah, that's kind of like what old Dion said. Dion was sitting there.
Time,
Prime was talking about, don't be mad at me. I don't wear cologne. What you smelling is not cologne. It's not. It's not cabana or whatever he said. It's confidence. And so man, I like that about Dion. Man, this guy comes up with so many different saying and expression, man, to get you fired up and motivated. That's why he's been so successful over there at Jackson State. That's the type of success I want to have here. Let's take what we have and together, let's kick this can down the street, JT.
Yeah.
We can significantly impact the lives of our family, our children, and the community simply by being willing and available to work in the community.
Hey, man. Y'all heard it right here, man. Y'all heard it, bitch. Y'all heard it from the best, man. Mr. Joseph Guillory, man. Early voting starts Monday, man.
October the 24th.
You can vote. It's 527 Lakeshore Drive, and then you go 4615 9th Avenue to Library. You can early vote. Starts Monday, man. Hey, man, make y'all vote. Vote for who you want. Vote for what's best. Hey, you wanna make it count. Go vote. If you want to say so when you see it, man, go vote, man. Don't sit at home and say, oh, shit, he won. Oh, shit, he won. Go make the vote, man. And maybe he won't. Maybe he will. Hey, man, this is another episode of Tree of Spill, man. I appreciate you, Mr. Joseph Guillory, man, for coming through.
Man, much love.
It's a pleasure to meet you, man.
Good to meet you as well, man.
Tree of Spill.
I know, man. But you
ain't in it. I don't know what y'all doing.